Well, welcome to episode 7. Well, this episode I'm going to talk about struggling with mental and physical illness and getting inspired by people I see on Instagram and hearing stories about other people overcoming their illness and going through their own healing journey. So, to begin, I'll share my own shit. Still struggling with chronic stress from complex PTSD coming from a history of ongoing childhood trauma, physical, emotional, verbal abuse for many years. And then other traumatic events in adulthood, followed by medical trauma that was going on for about a year. I was diagnosed with a bunch of shit. I won't go into detail because I don't want to re-traumatize myself. I'm still working with it. But anyways, I have some issues with my vision. I had to get surgery for it. And the surgery itself was very traumatic. And I'm still going through therapy, even though I've already done more than 2 years of therapy and dropped tens of thousands of dollars in therapy. My symptoms have not improved. I've tried somatic experiencing, internal family system, a little bit of neurofeedback even, all the modalities that are supposed to be great for PTSD, but it's not really doing anything. So no, I'm still on edge all the time. My whole body braces, muscle guards. Every muscle in my body is tight. My heart rate goes crazy for no reason. I don't even know what the triggers are. I just feel very tense and on edge all the time. And I guess doing this podcast gives me an outlet to blow off some steam when I get to complain about shit. But right now, I don't even really know where to go in terms of therapy, because my most recent session with my somatic therapist, even she is throwing her hands up in the air, and doesn't know what to do with me anymore. She has to talk to her supervisor about my case because it's just, my symptoms are not getting any better after doing 30 or 40 sessions with her. And somatic experiencing is supposed to help with trauma and being in a freeze state all the time. And I am a sort of a freeze type. When I get into such a stressful situation, I freeze right away. I don't know what to act. I don't act. I just stay in one place, look like my soul has ejected from the body. And that is basically every time a stressful situation happens, my go-to response is freeze and shut down. And I have been working with the somatic therapist to sort of at least switch from freeze to flight. And I guess I am more in flight response more often now, because of more anxiety instead of being super shut down and dissociated, which I was also chronic dissociation to the point I felt like I was stuck in a dream for 8 years straight. And there is an actual disorder called depersonalization derealization, DPDR, and I'm pretty sure I had that for 8 years, but nobody diagnosed me with it. But now I'm switching from DPDR to more just PTSD symptoms, where I don't feel like I'm just zoned out, fake, like I'm stuck in a dream, but I'm just experiencing all the PTSD symptoms, I guess. Constantly on edge, hypervigilance. Sometimes I get nightmares, different flashbacks. and panic attacks and different physiological symptoms. Sweaty hands, feet all the time. Heart rate goes crazy for no reason. But anyways, what's the next? That's my story for now.
Yeah, the next section would be, what were some pivotal moments in your journey that helped you shift your mindset?
I mean, when I was very dissociated, felt like I was stuck in a dream 24/7. The pivotal moment is when I discovered the book, The Body Keeps the Score, by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk. And I'm sure a lot of people who are struggling with PTSD or trauma and stress know about that book. And in that book, that it talks about the modalities like somatic experiencing, internal family system, neurofeedback, along with like yoga, different types of yoga, or like theater, or some sort of art therapy that helps you express the subconscious. Basically all the stuff that's repressed, has somewhere to come out in the form of theater, art, things like that. So I discovered that back sort of like the beginning of COVID, and then that's when I learned about somatic experiencing, and then I started somatic experiencing, doing the therapy with a different therapist, a different one from who I'm working with now. And I slowly got more into my body, but then when you're more in your body, you have to confront all the stuff that you basically try to get away from with the dissociation. So now I have to like deal with the actual trauma that triggered the chronic dissociation, the derealization, feeling out of body thing. So it was good and bad. Next.
Okay. Next one would be, did you get any like support from the community, like finding an outlet in other people?
Community-wise, there wasn't that much, because most of my friends, some of them are going through mental problems, like mental health problems, but mostly just like the depression, anxiety kind of thing. And I do have that too, but the depression and anxiety are like the symptoms of a broader umbrella of a mental illness. And it's not just like the depression and anxiety are the symptoms, not the mental illness itself.
Okay, so your source would be like the PTSD and everything?
Complex PTSD. PTSD is like mostly for people who have gone through war, like short-term trauma. And for me, it was like ongoing for the majority of my childhood, and then even in my adulthood, and then following that with the medical trauma, so it was ongoing trauma for like most of my life. And then living with my dad is already traumatic. Like, and I'm still there because of I just can't get out of my mental health situation, and then that affects my ability to make enough money to move out, especially when you're living in Vancouver, where like housing is crazy, the prices. But anyways, back to
so what was the influence of like social media or like a particular like character on the internet
so
did you find it?
I started, as I scroll, as many people scroll, I started getting posts being pushed to me about different people having different chronic illnesses, autoimmune or cancer or other things, either coming out of it through faith in God or just pushing themselves to sort of recover and then go back. I don't remember the specific like Instagram accounts or the people, but one of them had like Crohn's disease, and before he was diagnosed with the disease, he was like a bodybuilder or just a very fit guy, and then all of a sudden he had to stop going to the gym, and then he went from a muscular guy into like the literally skin and bones with like one of those he had to have a bag attached to his stomach, so he couldn't digest food properly. And then he had to like go to the hospitals like a lot to get different treatments, and he had to go through rehab to like rebuild every muscle, like from arms and legs. He was literally skin and bones, couldn't even walk properly. And then he just started posting himself, going back to the gym, starting from scratch, from zero. All the progress he made before the diagnosis were gone, and now he has to like relearn how to walk, how to like lift the lightest things with his arms, with that bag still attached to him. He still has that bag with him now, like it's still attached to his stomach.
Wow.
Well, he basically regained all of the muscle mass that he lost.
But he still has the bag?
Oh, he needs the bag to survive.
Jesus.
That's one of the complications of Crohn's disease. If it's that bad, you need a bag to, like a tube inserted into your stomach, or I think it's like that. And then you need the bag to help you digest different foods, I think.
Wow, that is...
I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works specifically, but there's a tube sticking out of your stomach attached to a bag.
And there's like food going in and out.
Yeah, basically.
Ooh. Damn, yeah. So that's an example of an extreme physical illness. But mentally, he was doing fine up until that point, right?
Well, with the physical illness, it definitely comes with mental illness.
Right, but before that, he was fine.
Oh, he was fine.
Well, I guess that points to like his resilient character, that he didn't let that.
Yeah, and I don't know if he believed in God or anything, but a lot of these accounts and their content being pushed to me, in most of their cases, faith was a big thing. Like
Religious faith.
Yeah, religious faith. Like their illness basically turned them to God. Like not turning them into God, but like they had towards God. Yes, they had to basically. It's a very humbling experience, because like your body is failing you, the medical system is failing you, and then you have no one left. So now you go to God.
Well, maybe he also had a lot of like support from his family.
Oh, I'm sure there is, from family, parents, girlfriends, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually they'll just give God the credit for, oh, you saved me. Like, I'm still here because of God. I mean, yes, sure. But then also the doctors or the parents or the friends have been there to support you.
Right, and so he proclaimed that God was the one who saved
Yeah,
his life.
a lot of people who've fought their illness and then came out still alive, like saying that it was faith in God that like cured them, or they're still alive because of God.
Wow, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I
Whatever
I don't
works.
focus on the religious aspect of them, surviving everything and making it out. But it is still inspiring. Also, just being able to see that other people are struggling as well. It helps me get through the day. It's like I haven't like beaten my illness, right? I haven't, I'm not on the other side now. I'm still in the thick of it. But seeing content like that just, keeps me going. I don't want to give up. And seeing that stuff, it's good.
Well, that's great. I mean, yeah, it's good that social media can do some good as well, especially for people struggling in similar ways. Okay. So, highlighting resilience. You've already shared a specific story of someone. Now, how about the power of vulnerability? Do you think expressing your situation and your problems online is like, do you think that helps you recover, or what kind of impact does that have?
I hope that it will, as I do want to build a community of people like you that are into self-help and want to help each other either grow, but we are in different stages of life, all of us, and I am still dealing with mental health issues, and people, hopefully most of them, don't have to deal with as many problems, or maybe they do have even more problems than me. I don't know, but I just hope that this platform that I'm using, I'm just sharing my experience, and then if other people are dealing with their own problems, I would like to start a conversation and build an online community to begin with, because that's just easier, and like a support group. But because throughout the past decade of me trying to figure out what's wrong with me and going through therapy and trying to do all this healing, I've always felt very alone in all of it, because I see that nobody around my immediate circle are dealing with the same thing, and it was a very lonely process and very scary, especially when I thought I was stuck in a dream for 8 years straight. So I do want to build a community by starting this podcast and sort of using it as a way to reach out to other people who are either dealing with mental illness or physical, or if you just want people to go through the journey with you, whatever that journey may be. It be it healing, self-help, or you just want somebody to talk to, kind of. Like I want to build my own, support group for basically young adult problems, and it can be anything, like mental health, career, relationships, everything. Because I have been to 2 men's group and different support groups for mental health. It all felt like I was missing something every time.
Well, maybe your approach of going online and kind of building a network of people and bringing them together in a certain way, and also focusing on more of a proactive solution-based approach, I think could be of a lot of value to you and to the people who choose to join the group. So
Yeah.
that's great, man. Yeah, best of luck. Let's see. The iron lung story. Remember that guy who was stuck in the iron lung?
Yeah, that one was probably my first inspiration. The Paul Alexander, the guy who lived basically in an iron lung for most of his life, who got diagnosed with polio when he was 6 and had to get into an iron lung, but still managed to get a law degree and practice law for 30-something years, and lived a full life and died at 78. That's definitely...
That's insane, man. He lived longer than either of my grandfathers, and he was stuck in an iron lung. That's insane.
That's what makes it so inspiring.
Yeah, not only that, but he was like a successful lawyer. Remember you told me he had the pen in his teeth as he was writing things down?
Yeah, he wrote a book, a memoir, with a pen in his mouth, not using his hands.
Wow.
Literally just his neck doing all the work.
It could probably lead to neck problems down the line.
Oh, for sure, man.
Wow. Well, I guess that guy would serve as a great example of how one person's constitution and character can really guide their life to greatness, even if they're hampered with a lot of with a massive disability or some other problem.
Yeah, he is an advocate for people with disability.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So a great example to follow then.
Sure, yeah. If no one else on Instagram, does the job, and Paul Alexander definitely. Yeah.
Well, that's perfect, man. Yeah. Let's strive to be as resilience.
Like if he
and productive
if
as
he
is.
can do all of that while living in iron lung, then yeah, I don't really have an excuse.
Exactly, bro. Okay, comparative experiences. Common themes. Do you see a common theme of like other people, how they overcome adversity and their own personal challenges?
I don't think any of them do it alone. You need to have support from other people, especially like for me, the emotional support part. Because I remember me recovering from the eye surgery, I had to like put my head down in this position for like 14 hours a day. And because I was abroad, all my friends are in another country, I was alone. The only person taking care of me was my dad, but he is a massive trigger for my mental health stuff. So it did not feel supportive. So I definitely felt very alone. And honestly, I did have to pray. Because I had literally no one else around me to help me through the recovery process. And the recovery process took 3 months because the gas in my eyeball would not dissolve. And it took 3 months for it to dissolve. And because it wouldn't dissolve, I had to stay in this position, literally like head down every day to keep the gas in a position that would pushes against the retina for it to heal. So yes, it was a retina surgery. Yeah, the recovery process was definitely worse than the surgery itself. And the surgery was already really bad because the anesthetic did not work. It wore off within an hour, and the surgery took more than 3 hours. So I felt everything towards the end. But none of the pain that I felt during the surgery was even... Yeah, that was nothing compared to the loneliness, the hopelessness, and then feeling stuck because you literally can't move from this position. Literally, I was doing this 14 hours a day for 3 months straight, just keeping my head in a face cradle, head down, face down. Only thing I could do was like listen to like audiobooks and music, and then just pray. Pray for the heal properly. Pray for just the the wound from the surgery to heal so I can get back to Canada. Eventually, it was bad. Like the surgery and the illness is already bad enough, and when you don't have anybody around to like support you, to help you even grieve, to process it, or to process any emotion, it just adds to the pain.
So you'd say a common theme would be having people to support you.
You need to have
And since
people
you were
to support you.
Since you were stuck in China.
Because
with your
I
dad.
was in a position where I had literally no one else.
Yeah. Like you were stuck in China.
No one was around me, present, like physically around me. And my dad just does not count. He's a massive trigger. Like I thank him for like bringing me to hospitals and like sort of taking care of me, but I did not feel the support at all. I felt fear. That was the only thing I felt for the entire time I was in China. It was just fear. And then I felt, it was like unfair that like God is doing this to me. I hated God. Or like, why is this happening to me? Why do I have to get like a retinal surgery at such a young age? And then why did the fucking anesthetic didn't work? That I had to feel all the pain during the surgery. But then when you had nobody else, you have to just turn to God and pray, because what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, I find it quite interesting that a lot of us seem to turn to God in our darkest
and I've
hours.
experienced it firsthand.
But you did that sort of out of desperation.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing else.
Because there was no one else around me.
Wow.
And like a Christian friend of my mom was telling me, yeah, that's for many people, that's how they end up finding God, is through desperation. Because no one in the physical realm could help them. People, things have failed them so badly that they eventually, out of desperation, finally turn to God. And I'm not saying that you should, because honestly, I still prefer to have a support group of actual people, because that feels less out of reach, and they're actually there to help you process all the emotions, or just being there for you through all the pain and the fear. So I still prefer having a support group made out of people.
But God is always a last resort, typically. Yeah. Well, there you have it. People are the key. Okay, would you say, like, there's obviously a link between mental health and physical health, but how would you say that played a role in your experience? Like, was it that your physical health sort of diminished over time because of your mental health, and then that worsened your mental health, or how would you describe
it? Feeds off each other.
Okay.
Yeah. You can start with a mental or physical health, and then the other one will just come in eventually, and then just make everything worse.
Yeah, that's it's like a parasitic cycle. Do you have any like coping mechanisms that you use to deal with your issues?
I don't like the phrase or word coping mechanism, because it doesn't help with the root cause. I believe in dealing with the root cause and healing the deeper problem. Coping mechanisms are you're just trimming branches when the problem are at the roots. You might get some relief, but it's short-lived, and you go right back to the same old state of despair, fear, hopelessness, and loneliness. So definitely, I will recommend, first thing you should do, definitely have a support group. And how do you do that? That's what I'm here to do, or trying to do, is to build an online community for something that I didn't have, but now I realize how important that is, especially for mental health, or anything really. You need to have a tribe or community or support group, whatever word you want to use. You need people around you to help you go through anything in life.
Well, that's a good outlook, man. Yeah. Hopefully that works out. Although that depends on how many people are watching this. Okay. Do you find goal setting helps you with like tackling your issues systemically?
I've been through so much that now I've had to really break down my goals into literally tiny bite-sized pieces to build momentum. It used to be like making a certain amount of money, like getting a relationship, or betting a certain amount of women. But now it's literally like, fuck, I need to get out of my bed and go for a walk, or just move. Like, because all of that has collapsed when you have no health. A lot of people say this: you have 1,000 problems until you have a health problem. And when you have a health problem, you only have one problem. And I'm in that right now. I feel that viscerally, yes. When you have health problems, that's the only thing you care about. All the other things just don't matter anymore. If you don't have health, You can't do anything. Money, forget about it. Women, forget about it. Success, what the hell is that? Like,
So it gives you like one large target.
You could literally die tomorrow if your illness is bad enough, serious enough. So like when you have no health, like nothing else matters.
Yeah. Well, then that's what we need to deal with. Anyone who has health problems and a mental health problem, would you say that dealing with the health problem first is like the most important thing to do, or how would you like tackle it if you have both a mental and a physical problem?
I believe that a lot of illnesses like came from a more sort of emotional or mental problem that, you know, over time manifested itself into a physical illness. This might not be popular opinion, but a lot of things like cancer especially,
or heart issues as well.
yeah, a lot of time is just repressed emotions, and then chronic stress. You know, chronic stress can lead to so many things.
Oh yeah.
But they are intertwined. You can't just look at mental health and not look at physical health at the same time. They're not separate. They're not separate systems. They feed off of each other. They affect each other. Even the chances of survival from like a cancer diagnosis can, you know, like mental health can be a tipping point. If you're in a good mental state or bad mental state, if you believe that you're gonna die in 3 weeks because the doctor told you, you're more likely to die in 3 weeks. And I don't like when doctors tell you when you're gonna die, because they're basically cursing you. They're putting a curse on you. They say, oh, it's really bad. You're gonna die in like at most 3 months. And if you believe that, with the fear on top of the illness, on top of the diagnosis,
that doesn't help.
Of course it doesn't help. And doctors that do that are just, what the fuck? You already have to give them the news that they have a cancer diagnosis. Why the fuck would you tell them that you're gonna die in a few months? You're putting a curse on top of an illness. That's how I see it. And it's fucked.
Well, there's certainly a stress-inducing element, but
exactly.
Also it's maybe they do that so you can like plan your estate and get all your shit kind of sorted out before hitting the grave, you know. If I was a doctor, I'd probably tell people like, hey, you know.
If I was a doctor, I would just focus on fucking getting them into treatment and not tell them where they're gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not God. You're not like fucking death himself that you know they're gonna die. Oh, you're gonna die at this certain time, this certain second in a car or whatever. You're in no position to tell somebody when they're gonna die.
Yeah. I just probably tell people to get their affairs in order just in case, but I wouldn't.
And you believe that they're not gonna survive. But many cancer patients do. But when they hear it coming from a doctor, they believe it more like, because you're the professional. Oh, if the professionals say I'm gonna die in 3 weeks, then they're probably gonna die. But are they? Are they the fucking really the professional here? Huh?
I mean, they're the ones with the degree, man.
Oh yeah, the degree with textbooks teaching them all the fucking horse shit of just the whole. I don't want to get into a rant about the medical system right now, but it's a sick care system. It's not a fucking healthcare system. About all big pharma, you know, the fucking drugs are supposed to keep you barely alive and not supposed to cure you of anything. And most practices are just, you know, sort of, it's like removing the fuse that set off an alarm instead of fixing the actual problem.
Well, there's been some people saying that, like, maybe it's a popular belief that maybe they found the cure to cancer, but they didn't actually like they didn't.
The public can't know.
produce it
They
because-
can't. The public can't know about the actual cure.
Yeah, because curing cancer would kill a huge source of revenue for
Exactly.
the industry,
Oh,
the medical
absolutely.
industry. So there's that aspect. Like, if it's a sick care system, you're getting a consistent payout from people over the course of their lives. Whereas if you treat them once, that's like your revenue stops right there.
Or even prevention, but there's no money in prevention. If nobody gets sick, how are they going to make money?
It's just general knowledge that you should eat well and exercise. That's the only prevention there is. But yeah, let's keep it on track here. Okay, setting goals. Has your definition of we've talked about that. Like, your definition of success has changed through, like, you know, I need to make this much money.
Success doesn't mean anything when you have health problems.
Okay. The success probably in your case would mean to just have a normal life without the complex PTSD and the health issues.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're reaching the conclusion. So, do you have a message of hope for the audience, or a message?
You can't do it alone. That's
Okay.
the only message I have for anybody dealing with any kind of issue. Not just health. You need a crew, a tribe, a support group that help you, you know, achieve the goals that you have set. And I'm sure a lot of you heard this, that you're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. And if the people around you are just indulging, doing hedonism, escaping from the problems, you should consider upgrading your crowd.
Yeah, it's a fair message. Yeah, get some good friends. But, you know, sometimes it's easier said than done when your personality only attracts a certain crowd
Exactly.
of people.
And a lot of times, the friends you hang out with are just a reflection of who you are. So you also have to be willing to change your beliefs and values and stick to your, you know, true goals so that you attract the right people. And I'm trying to do that.
Yeah, well,
And I do admit I have friends that, you know, they're stuck and they don't even see that they're stuck. They're just doing whatever that's fun to, like, numb the pain, to distract themselves. But I don't want to do that anymore. I've already done that for so long. I'm almost 30 years old. So I'm doing my best, trying to make a change.
this is a good start. I do hope this initiative of yours does work, and you get some people who actually want to deal with their problems head on and just work together to, you know, find some kind of relief or to systematically take on their issues and emerge successful. Yeah, call to action, just, you know, leave a comment. If you live in Vancouver, then maybe, did you leave an email or something for them?
Just in the comments. Just let's
Okay,
just
comment
start with the
section.
comment section.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna maybe just start an online thing for now. I don't have anywhere to go to have a sort of support group meeting, because you probably have to pay to, like, rent a room or anything like that. I'm probably just gonna start like a Zoom meeting kind of thing.
Zoom meeting, yeah, that's a good one. Or maybe go to a park and just, like,
Yeah, comment if you're interested.
yeah, it's a fresh approach, so check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, what topics do you want to what kind of topics would you like to explore in the next episode? I don't know, any suggestions, any specific issues that you're dealing with, or any specific aspects?
Yeah,
that we missed? Leave it
I
down
know
below.
we call this a road rage podcast, but I don't want to rant about any. Don't really want to rant about stuff. Like, ideally, I do want to use this podcast channel to, like, help others. or help you help me, and so I can help you, that kind of thing.
Help each other.
Yeah.
Thing. Well. Yeah. So hopefully, some of you are interested in connecting with my friend here and trying to, at least get something started, because the first step is often the most difficult step. But if people have the courage to heed this call and to band together with someone who's also dealing with a lot of issues, then maybe through like a deep discussion of some sort and through forging a bond, like that could really have a positive impact. I mean, human connection has been one of the most important factors in creating a lot of things in this world, from buildings to businesses to science to math. It's all human collaboration, so I don't see why mental health is any different. We need to come together and try and work on this, because a group of minds is always better than one.
And I've tried so many things for mental health and they haven't worked, but that doesn't mean that another person in a group doesn't have the answer. They might have the answer to what I'm looking for, and I might have the answer for what you're looking for. That's what this whole thing is for, like, meant for, the online thing, the community.
Well, only one way to find out. Comment below. Let's get something started here. The power is in your hands. And with that, I think we can wrap up.
Sure. Say stay tuned.
Stay tuned and have a good one wherever you're at.